Hello guys. In today's video I want to talk to you about three aspects of assertiveness and tell you how to be more assertive. Hey, so one of the aspects of being assertive is making choices consciously about how you want to be. You can choose to be passive in your life if you want to, and you can choose to be aggressive or you can choose to be assertive. The place that we get ourselves into trouble is when we don't really take that time to think about how we want to respond. In our lives, we have this response. It's either run, flee, or fight. So it's fight or flight. But there's a third response that we have if we choose to, and it's sit still. It's really a spiritual process. And where we get into trouble, where we harm ourselves, is when we choose to not choose. It's kind of interesting. There are people in my life who have a tendency, in my family, who have a tendency just to get angry, explode, and rage. And this person never intends to do that. And when that happens, it hurts other people. It also hurts the person that does it, because one of the results of just responding in anger and then raging is depression. So when we have a situation in our lives where people are moving against us and we just passively just passively out of habit not respond and not resist, it's unhealthy. And what I want to teach you is, hey, listen, there's a place where you can sit still and choose how you're going to respond. And you may choose to respond passively. And if you choose that response, that's healthy because you made that choice. We're free to choose. There are times in our lives where aggression may be the proper response, but only if you choose to respond aggressively. Let me give you a couple examples in my life. When Ina and I lived on the Upper East Side in Manhattan, I would ride my bicycle through Harlem, cross the GW Bridge, and go up a road called 9W up the Hudson Valley. And I would ride hour and a half one way, hour and a half back. But there was many times where I would be coming back, especially in the fall of the year, and it would begin to get dark, and sometimes it was dark, but I had lights on the bicycle. And when I went through Harlem, Harlem's much better than it was many years ago, but when I went through there, I made a conscious choice to just, especially at dark, I just go through there really passive. And what that meant was I was not making eye contact with anybody. I was minding my own business and pedaling through, just getting through there. But that's a choice that I made, to be passive. There are other times in my life where I choose not to be passive because being passive would harm me. In that particular instance, passivity was really a thing that was going to be healthy for me and protect me. Now, aggression is any kind of behavior that moves against the other person. And you got some choices to make. Let's just pretend, hey, you're laying in your bed at night and you wake up startled at 4 a.m. and there's somebody standing in your bedroom above your bed, above you, looking at you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You got some choices to make, don't you? You know, I don't think it would be proper. I don't think the right choice is to be assertive. Here's what assertiveness would sound like. I get the feeling you shouldn't be in here. This isn't your bedroom. See, that's assertiveness. Uh, Passivity would be just lay there, do nothing, and hope the person leaves. That may be the right choice. I don't know. Or another choice that could be proper is aggressive. You know, if you've got a weapon, you might choose to use that. If you've got a brick, you might choose to use that. But you know, I could justify it's time for me to get a brick and hit this person in the head. Now, whether or not that's the right choice or not really isn't part of this video. But what I want you to understand is that you consciously choose that. If you consciously choose it, then it's the right choice. Um, Aggression happens in the workplace, and aggression in the workplace comes in many different forms. Social situations are a literal war zone sometimes where words are weapons. So, aggression in the workplace doesn't necessarily happen in a physical way. And anytime you get aggression in the workplace, you know, it's time to sit still and say, hang on just a second, how do I want to respond to this? Do I want to respond to this in an assertive manner? Do I want to just let this go and not resist? Or do I want to be aggressive back toward the other person? One of the aggressive acts in the workforce is sarcasm. It is aggression. It's aggression that's stealthy. It's hidden. So in that context, it's really aggression in a passive way. So you really kind of don't know, wait a minute, what's going on here? Is this person moving against me? And sarcasm is aggression. Sarcasm is a result of a person not owning their anger or their disappointment or some other negative emotion that they're suffering from. They're making a judgment about something, but they're not willing to tell you what they need to tell you or want to tell you in an upfront, honest, assertive manner. It's called speaking the truth in love. So when you have someone in the workplace that's being sarcastic toward you, they are being aggressive toward you. Sarcasm is rampant, guys. Leaders are guilty of it. Owners of companies are guilty of it. Technicians are guilty of it. It's a war zone. It's a war zone, and it isn't healthy. So, you know, how do you respond to sarcasm? You respond to sarcasm in an assertive manner. It's real simple. I'm sarcastic sometimes because I'm a human, and I have negative emotions, and I make judgments about things, and I let those judgments get poisoned by my anger or disappointment. But you know, Ian and I have this. Ian is my wife. We have this rule in our relationship. It's an invisible line around our relationship, and one of the rules is we don't allow sarcasm. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen, because it does. But when it happens, we just point it out. We call it out. We say, "Are you being sarcastic?" And that's the way we keep the sarcasm out. So, you know, is your workplace a place where sarcasm is allowed? Are you going to allow it? And if you're not going to allow it, what are you going to do about it? I think sarcasm should be not allowed because it harms people. Sarcasm cuts people emotionally. It makes people feel bad. And you want your workforce to be always feeling good. You want the executive function of their brain working, which is executive function is, you know, keep people focused on what works, keep out the noise, that's step 2, and then keep it current, step 3. Well, sarcasm is noise. So if you've got a lot of noise in that executive function, your team is not going to function very well. Anger is the same thing. If you allow outbursts of anger and rage in your system, it's noise and it shuts everybody down for the rest of the day. The last thing I want to talk to you about is an assertive lifestyle is a lifestyle where people can say yes or no to requests from others. Here's what happens if you can't say no to requests from others. One of two things is you're either going to say yes reluctantly, or you're going to be dishonest and use think it over to avoid telling them no. Both of those are bad for you. If you're doing things reluctantly, you're not going to feel good about yourself. And if you're using think it over to avoid saying no, it's just not a healthy thing for the other person. I mean, we need to be upfront, honest, and open with other people. So if you have a difficult time saying yes or no to other people, you can change. You can change. No is a sticky word. No means to some people rejection. Sometimes no represents disappointment, because it is disappointing to hear no sometimes when you want to hear yes. And then other times, no can even represent, hey, you don't love me. So this no word is something we have to really embrace and get comfortable with. It's okay to say no. In fact, when you need to say no, you better say no, because that's good for you. So saying yes and no is an assertive lifestyle. This is really, really a problem in the sales process. Most people don't say no to you. If you're the salesperson, most people don't say no to you, and they tell you think it over as a way to avoid telling you no. The way that I got really good at sales is I didn't allow that to happen. We had these kind of conversations up front. So here's what I want to say to you. If you have a hard time saying yes or no to others, if you don't consciously choose your response to life and you're just kind of bouncing around based upon your emotional response, and if you recognize that sarcasm is a problem in your life, either a problem where you're on the receiving end or maybe you're on the giving end, if any of these three things are places where you want to grow and make changes, you can join me in our next seminar coming up. The link will be below in the video, and we'll talk about how to become a more assertive person. Hey, listen, I hope this video helped you. If you like this video, share it with others. And if you'd like to get more of these kinds of videos, click the subscribe button. And we appreciate you. I hope this video helped you, and God bless. Bye.